If you're looking to break into the IT world in Lansanlin Archelok, it seems like all roads still lead back to one thing: the CompTIA A JAS certification. We hear about it all the time, but what exactly is it? And is it really still the gold standard?
It absolutely is. And it's structured in a very logical way. The exam is split into two parts. Core E, which is all about the physical stuff, hardware, networking, the things you can actually touch. Then there's Core R, which covers the logical side, operating systems, security, and customer service.
So it's kind of like a driver's license for the digital world. I know how to use my computer, but this proves I actually understand what's happening under the hood.
That's a perfect analogy. And the most critical part is that it's vendor neutral. This means you're not just learning to fix an Apple product or a Windows machine, you're learning the fundamental principles that apply everywhere. For a hiring manager in London or New York, that's the universal language they want to see. It proves you can solve the problem, regardless of whose logo is on the box.
Right. It's the foundation for a whole career. But looking at the Lansenling Archelo syllabus, it's clear this isn't just about old school desktop PCs anymore. The hardware requirements seem to be evolving pretty fast.
They are the core exam, the hardware part is getting a serious update, of course. It still covers the basics like swapping out a CPU or configuring a Wi-Fi router, but the big news for Lansenlin Archelou is the heavy focus on emerging hardware and IoT.
You mean like smart devices in an office?
Exactly. We're talking about smart cameras, smart thermostats, smart home gateways that are now standard in corporate environments. The Internet of Things has officially graduated from a consumer gimmick to a core business function. If the smart thermostat network goes down, the entire office's climate control system could fail. The frontline tech now has to manage that.
So the modern IT tech isn't just the PC repair person anymore. They're more like the architect of a whole smart office ecosystem.
That's it. And here's a really interesting part. The syllabus now groups hardware virtualization with these new IoT skills
Why is that significant?
because it signals a fundamental shift in thinking. Even at the entry level, the industry now expects a technician to understand efficiency, not just connectivity. It's not about plugging in one machine for one job anymore. It's about knowing how to take one powerful server and slice it into 10 virtual machines. That's a huge leap in responsibility for a junior role.
That makes sense. So hardware is getting smarter and more abstract. But once the physical gear is running, you still have to deal with the brains of the operation, the software, and I guess the people using it.
And that brings us to Core R. This part covers the operating systems, and you need to know all of them: Windows, Mac OS, even Linux. But the real heavyweight in this section is security. We're talking about identifying and defending against ransomware, phishing attacks, and deploying multi-factor authentication.
That sounds intense. But the part that really surprised me was the emphasis on soft skills. They actually test you on professional ethics and your ability to communicate with non-technical users.
This is where the job becomes human. You can be the most brilliant technician in the world, but if you can't patiently explain to a panicked manager why their data is safe without using a dozen acronyms, you're a liability. CompTIA knows that the best firewall isn't just software. It's a technician who knows how to teach a user not to click the dangerous link in the first place.
So it's about translating tech speak into human speak.
Precisely. And there's another subtle but critical detail in the syllabus software license compliance in Europe and the US. A company getting caught with unlicensed software is a massive legal and financial disaster. The fact that they're baking this into an entry-level cert shows the role has evolved. The help desk specialist is now a frontline guardian of the company's legal and security integrity.
Wow. So it really is a complete package: hardware, software, security, and people skills. It's much more than just fixing computers. So, if you had to boil it down, what are the absolute key takeaways for the Lansen-Ling Arshalu A certification?
I'd say there are four main things to remember. First, it's still that dual core structure, core E for hardware and networking, core R for software and security. You have to pass both. Second is the big IoT expansion. Managing smart office devices is no longer optional. Third, security is now a top priority, focusing on active defense and data privacy. And finally, and maybe most importantly, soft skills are now treated as technical skills. Your ability to communicate and act ethically is just as crucial as your ability to troubleshoot.